Women have this desire, this curiosity in our being, this yearning to experience, a hunger to experience everything, every version of ourselves, every life, to meet and feel every person we can imagine. We want to see the world and what it has to offer to us. We are born with this craving as a child, but I believe it begins to affect us once our period begins. An awakening, a realization of who we are and our capabilities to give life. It's a fear that we carry in our everyday lives where we feel stuck because we want everything, but our paths feels made already for us. Expectations to fulfill, people to please, distractions we create, but every now and then we see it, a reminder, a call, where we see a duckling follow its mother across the street. When we read the girl in the book has your same color hair, when we kiss the wrong person, when you read your poetry to your best friend, and when you see the girl with short hair and long shorts, when we look in the mirror and see our mother's nose, when you see your reflection on the bus that passed you, it inspires us and devastates us all at once. Just as Eve once felt. She never perceived herself, could never see or compare herself to other women and lives. She could only feel. The way her hair fell on her curves, how grass and dirt protected her feet, the way her skin felt under the sun, until he made her see. And there it was, a visual representation of what could be, a temptation, an apple tree that's full and healthy, where each apple is a life, one that could be a version of us we could meet and embody. One apple was a cook with her own restaurant, another had ink-stained fingers in an apartment in New York, another apple had one suitcase and traveled the world, another apple had a partner and 2 children, and animals with a big farm to take care of. Another apple married young. Another apple was a healer. Another apple had long braided hair and cooked breakfast in her underwear alone. Another was an old lady who went to a yoga class every day. The tree of knowledge, of good and evil, it haunts us, casting a shadow over us, reminding us of the beauty and uncertainty of our decisions. But if you never pick an apple, if you never decide to risk the sour, decaying apple for a succulent, satisfying apple, you'll never know what it tastes like, what life tastes like. You'll never feel, you'll never experience, and you'll starve, and the apples will fall and wrinkle alongside you. We have this need to be and do so many things, but we only sit back and observe and daydream about what our lives could be, not how they actually are. So we fill pages and pages in our journal, countless digital evidence of our lingering emotions and resentments, all in our notes app. Read and annotate enough books and watch movies of different women to fill the hours, to at least experience some kind of life, to have a taste of the dream at our fingertips, to relieve and grasp onto adolescence, maintaining that kind of freedom we felt at the time. Drawing and sketching on our skin to portray our ideas and creativity in a safe way, one that only we can claim and hold. Sitting in a blistering hot shower to only feel one thing, to only feel the heat burn and hug our skin in order to stop thinking, where our tears can fall with no fear of being ridiculed. We start to become hyper-aware with the way our thighs look when we sit, how our arms look in pictures, the way our breasts change the shape of a shirt. A way to distract ourselves, to obsess, to make the world within us feel so chaotic and unworthy that we forget about the future. We begin to feel everything and question everything in a hope to find someone who understands, or at least a distraction through intimacy. Forced conversation where we swallow our tongue to seem simple, easy. We seek comfort on a man's chest, close our eyes to imagine a world where you follow and obey, where all you have to be is beautiful and submissive. It's intriguing, the idea of it. You'll be taken care of, but the dream withers away as you realize no matter where you stand or who you come home to, you'll still find the need to be someone, a mother, a writer, a singer, an actor, an educator, something, anything, everything. Just please let me be someone. Anywhere I've traveled to and stayed for more than 4 days, there's a bench. It has the perfect combination of support on my back and my feet slightly touch the floor. There's a big tree behind me that protects me from the sun, but still lets me feel its warmth and presence. And I sit and watch, people watch, how this particular mother responds to her crying son, how babies maintain eye contact with me from their strollers, how the curls on that dog are the same as its owners, whether the man is walking on the side nearer to the street or the woman is, how many people are smiling while on the phone, who's looking off into the river while listening to music. But I mainly look at men, how they interact with each other, how they converse with women, the way they walk, if they look behind them when they're walking alone, whether both their headphones are in. There's this odd jealousy I feel for men, and it started in elementary school. I never understood why I preferred to play with the boys in recess, or why I preferred to sit at a table full of men at lunch in high school. I studied them, watched them, how they walked, how they entered a room, how much food they ate, how they attempted to be discreet when looking at a woman's body. It's not because I want to be a man or feel this need to compete with them. I was just fascinated with how they functioned and simply existed. I wanted those qualities that came with being a man. I wanted the respect a man gets for just being. I wanted the privilege that comes with being a man. It made me angry and disgusted to see how a boy was spoken to in a classroom and how it compares to when a girl would walk up to throw something away. My relationship with myself was really distorted throughout high school, through eating disorders and being in relationships at such a young age and a lack of self-love. I despised being a girl. For a long time in my adolescence, not only was it defeating in my own mind, but visually seeing the competition and jealousy between young women was so disturbing. How the same gender could be so hurtful and destructive to one another. I never felt a sense of womanhood growing up. I never felt a real, honest connection with any girl my age. Funny enough, the purest form of a woman I could have was next to me all along, making sure I ate, holding my head when I cried, constantly looking past my mistakes and bad decisions to see how hurt I was, always pushing me to pick an apple from the tree, reminding me I want to pick those apples so badly because it already exists for me in the future. She's a living reminder that women can be nurturing and beautiful and soft and powerful and strong and free. My mother is my best friend, and I'm proud to wear her nose and ears. I'm proud to be my mother's daughter. Because of her, I'm the woman who speaks to you today. Being a woman isn't just about being afraid to walk alone at night or sexualizing yourself to fit in. It's not how full your breasts are, or how flat your stomach is, or the way your thighs look when you sit down. It's not an invitation to have children. It's not a prophecy to fulfill. Being a woman is an experience, and it's the feeling we give and the feelings we receive. It's when you decorate every room you've lived in with your art or receipts for paintings. It's that one specific meal you rely on to feed yourself or a person you love. It's the authenticity you feel when you finally meet a girl that isn't constantly performing. It's when the barista memorizes your coffee order. It's all the mothers we have, the ones who carried us and gave birth to us, those we share blood with but wear different noses, the grandmothers who see you as a reflection of their youth, the women who smile at you in the grocery store, those girls that make your smile lines shine, the ones who ask you what your favorite granola is, the ground that supports us, the trees that remind us to slow down and sway, the birds who sing in the morning, the cats and dogs that protect us. Being a woman can be incredibly lonely, especially if you work or live in an environment surrounded by a 24-hour clock. It's exhausting that people expect us to be the same person we were yesterday. Women function physically, spiritually, and emotionally on a 28-day schedule, just like the moon. The moon isn't the same every single night, and neither are you. We are full at the beginning of the month, and at the end of the month, we bleed, we cry, we release. Millions of women are bleeding with you, crying with you. We're never alone. The whole world is our mother and sister. I was born a girl. I was born loud and laughing. I was born hairy and with a smile on my face, with a fire and a drive to run, to jump in the mud, to undo my braids. I was born to paint and love however I want. I was born in a house filled with love and reassurance. I was born in soft skin, with a nurturing essence, and to my core, I was born loving and positive. I wear thousands of women on my skin and feel hundreds of women's dreams and lives inside of me. I carry generations inside me. For them, I live. For them, I love. For me, I dream. I dream and dream because I will not accept a life in a society where all I am is where I bleed from. The world can be cruel to me and people may hurt me, but I'll still keep giving love back to it because that's what I was meant to do. We are hungry beings that want to see the unknown and know it. And some people won't understand that. Most people won't. No matter what you do, what you wear, no matter who you portray as, you'll never please everyone. A free, mindful woman full of curiosity scares the world. You're not born to be understood by everyone. We as women have one job in this life. Be so immersed in your being that no man, woman, teacher can influence you into a life of mediocrity and suffering. You have to forge through a system that was created to keep us sick. Take care of your body, explore your sensuality, allow your emotions to flow, listen to your body, honor your thoughts, dance and feel your skin move, fall in love, braid or cut your hair, and other girls who can't reach theirs, hug yourself. Be vulnerable and allow people to see you. Squeeze a handful of blueberries and see, even if they are broken, they are still beautiful and worth eating. You're not what broke you. Your womanhood is not defined by the people who want to take it away or hide it. Every day we shed some skin, and with it, let your traumas and doubts fall. We cannot sit and pick at our wounds forever. We have to let them scab and scar, changing us for the better. It all happens for a reason. When I think of a woman, I see the ocean. Something that is such a pure, magnifying energy and experience. An untamed spirit that never falls and rises the same way it did a moon cycle ago. Where her laughter is a symphony that could break dull barriers. Her sorrow is a deep silence that only few have touched and seen. She carries the storm in the curve of her hips. Her dreams are cast and profound, a large percentage uncharted. Her touch is soft and allows anything to float and be. She has the capacity to hold and home an endless amount of souls with her waves. The bitterness heals wounds and shelters her love. A continual dance of existence, forever beautiful and complex. We as women carry so much power inside ourselves. Each of us is a living embodiment of Mother Nature in the flesh. Honor her by taking the apple in your hand and eat it. Savor it. Swallow it. Plant the seeds for future generations. Eat as many apples as you want. The world is yours. It is your right, and it's our right to experience.